Josh Eisenberg's birthday week. It's Rusev Day. It's Extreme Rules. A lot of things to celebrate coming up this week as we here at Chairshot Reality previewing Extreme Rules in Pittsburgh. And, of course, we encourage you to play WrestleRumble.com. Just right now, open up a tab on your device or your computer. Just type in WrestleRumble.com. Check it out. You'll see the prize list. It's legit. They've been doing it for several years. Plenty of players around the world playing. It's a lot of fun. Make your predictions on who's going to win, potentially win some money. Let's start with a prediction, Josh, who it's got to be pretty much the layup of the night, which is unfortunate because you got two guys who are so interesting to the crowd. One who is the hot babyface and AJ Styles, the WWE champion, and then the other who continues to rally the crowd. WWE wavers week to week whether or not he's acting like a face or a heel. But nonetheless, it will be Rusev Day in Pittsburgh. Rusev getting his first WWE Championship challenge ever. But I can't see any Rusev victory here.
Yeah, as much as it'd be a shock and something that would have people talking, Rusev becoming WWE champion, I think this is the biggest layup of the night. I think AJ Styles retains. I do think this falls relatively later in the card. I think you'll see this since it is a WWE Championship match and there is no Universal Championship being defended again. I do think that this is either the match before the main event or maybe two matches before. I don't think this ends the show. If it ends the show, then you have to pique your interest and think, what is going on here? What's happening? But this is going to be a really good match. I think we have seen a lot of Rusev over the years, whether it was feuding with John Cena, whether it was having his reign as United States champion before actually obviously dropping it to Cena, having different tag teams, having different storylines. We haven't seen him face a competitor like AJ Styles. And that's a kudos to AJ Styles' background. AJ Styles is at the top of his game. AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the world right now. Him and Seth Rollins, 1 and 2 in my mind in WWE. So I think that AJ Styles and Rusev, I would love these guys to get 20 to 25 minutes to work really good at ring work, real bell to bell. Rusev can do that. He's a super athlete for a reason. He's not the tallest guy, but he's one of the most athletic, quote, big men that they have. So give them enough time and ultimately end it maybe with an Aiden English trying to interfere and help Rusev, but it backfires into an AJ Styles phenomenal forearm.
I wouldn't be opposed to this match starting the show. And I know that some people get really funny about world titles starting, but at this point we've seen world title matches open up WrestleMania. If they can open up WrestleMania, they can open up Extreme Rules. If you know that the match kind of has a predictability, and if you know you have enough stuff to anchor it to make sure people don't tune out. You have Daniel Bryan and Kane still to come. You have Roman Reigns still to come. You have Braun. You have Ziggler and Rollins. So I think you have so much that you have enough other attractions that you could get away with putting this. Just have the show start with Aiden English come out, sing to the crowd. The crowd's going to be hot, ready for it, and at least if the crowd is going to be a little disappointed in some regard. Not that they're not fans of AJ Styles, but they're going to be a little disappointed in some regard that Rusev Day loses on, or Rusev loses on Rusev Day.
On Rusev Day.
At least it gets it out of the way at the first match, and you can move on and give them 3.5 more hours of action. So, but yeah, AJ Styles, barring anything unfortunate and catastrophic, which would be either injury or suspension, Rusev not going to grab the title this go around. Moving on to the women's title on Raw. This one's going to be interesting. Maybe not as much as the ladies inside of the ring, but the lady who will be outside of the ring, sitting front row, buying a ticket with the rest of the jamokes. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax with Ronda Rousey, sitting ringside in the Steel City.
Rest of the jamokes, huh, Justin?
Myself included.
I'll tell you this: if there is a camera shot where she's right next to you, I don't want to hear it. We get it, Justin. You're sitting. We get it. Okay, we understand.
I'm going to be bumped in the nosebleeds because of Ronda Rousey. What are you talking about?
That's okay. Come join me. That's all right. It's always much more fun up there anyway, so I don't need our TV time anymore. But this match is going to be interesting for me. Obviously, for the Ronda Rousey effect, I do think she jumps the barricade. I do think security tries to break her up because I think that she's going to be taunted by both of them. My biggest problem with this entire feud is I'm not sure what to think of Nia Jax. And it's not Nia Jax's fault. She doesn't know what the hell she is every other day. She's a heel. She's a face. She hates Alexa. She's okay with Alexa. She hates Ronda. She loves Ronda. It's so strange to me over the past 6 months that we've gotten so many different Nia Jaxes, especially in the past month or two with Ronda Rousey. So I think Alexa Bliss wins. I think she retains. But at the same time, I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't know if I see Alexa versus Ronda being the match that Ronda wins the championship at SummerSlam. Would you want a bigger Nia Jax for her to defeat? It's really a tricky one for me. What do you think? I'm not sure.
Well, I have some likes and dislikes. I like the fact that they are in it, that they are advertising Ronda's going to be there. Okay, so I think that's good. It's her first appearance with WWE in Pittsburgh, so I like the fact that they're still making her a bit of a draw by saying, she's going to be there, wink, wink, hint, hint. But at the same time, that said, and I know that's what they have to do to allow her to be advertised and still follow the continuity of her being suspended. Look, we've seen her front row. She was front row when she was legitimately not part of the company, and that went over well. It went over great at WrestleMania 31 when she's there, like the rest of the celebrities are at WrestleMania, and she got brought into the fold. Huge surprise, went over great, one of the best segments in the history of WrestleMania. If we had not seen her first WWE match, her sitting ringside in this situation would come across a little more real and a little more authentic, because you could have one of the ladies taunt her, and then you have the big melee. But the fact that she's already competed at Mania, she just had a match last month, it takes a little bit away from it. So I don't know. I guess it's really going to come down to execution. And you're right. Alexa Bliss, she's a great pro wrestling heel. But Ronda, just like Brock, you got to bring a little bit different formula into who you put her in the ring with. And I mean, she could legitimately destroy Alexa Bliss. We know this in a physical fight because of the size. I don't know if Ronda winning against Alexa is the thing to do. If it's at SummerSlam, I feel pretty strongly, and I'm hearing whispers that they're going to do the first ever women's pay-per-view at some point later this year. So maybe that's the place where you have Ronda Rousey get her victory. It's all gonna be a matter of timing. What can they make happen? I'm gonna wait and see the execution here, but nonetheless, in playing Wrestle Rumble, I don't see Alexa Bliss losing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to me, and that's one match that is kind of a flip of the coin. But why would they have that cash in kind of expire so quickly? She cashed in, she became champion. Why give it away the next month just to have Ronda Rousey suspended and extend that? So that'll be interesting. But one match I don't know many people find extremely interesting. It's going to be interesting what the crowd thinks in Pittsburgh. Bob Lashley versus Roman Reigns. Justin, who you got?
Come out here, Bobby.
Come out here, Bobby. Nope, that's our president.
Yes, that is our president.
Come out here, Bobby.
Come out here, Bobby. I wonder if you ask President Trump, do you remember Bob Lashley? Do you remember?
Of course not. Of course he does.
All right. I was going to do an impression, but I'm just going to try to stay away from it. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns here. This match is not so much. Look, both these guys are athletic. They're talented in the ring, despite the harsh criticism they get. Reigns particularly. So it could be a very entertaining match. And the problem is they're going to work their ass off, just like Jinder and Roman did. And the crowd's just not going to connect with it. I think we can, they can try whatever they want, but for the most part, until it gets to that final, Reigns punch and spear, until it gets to the final go home, the crowd's going to mostly just try to be, obstinate towards it. So the performers have to be aware of that. I'm going to watch it. I'll appreciate it, all that stuff, yada yada. But I'm not that excited for the match itself, bell to bell. It's not going to get me on the edge of my seat of what's going to happen here, because I think it's a Roman Reigns victory. I'm more or less interested. Okay, what's next? Because this match we think should still have some effect to the Universal Championship, and then that's a whole other story. Given Brock's actions at UFC last week. And so I'm intrigued by this match, but probably for all the wrong reasons. I want to see where they put it on the show. I want to see how much of a car crash it causes with the fans. Is it just Reigns and Lashley? Do we get somebody? I don't know who, but there's a lot of things about this that are intriguing, but probably not for the reason that WWE wants us to be intrigued for. But nonetheless, people are going to poo-poo on it, but hey, I'll tell you this: to all those people, and this is what the WWE is saying back to you, for all those people that are going to crap on it, all those people are going to be sitting there in their seats, and they're not going to be getting up going to the bathroom, because they whether they admit it or not, they have some investment, even if as obnoxious as it sounds, they have some investment in sitting there and telling WWE, I don't like Roman Reigns, or I don't like Bobby Lashley, which that's their right, good for you, but if you really want to make a difference, get up and go to the bathroom.
I mean, I'll probably be about 5 beers in by the time this gets there, so I might not remember all of it. Actually, 5 beers at the show, probably about an additional 12 Corona Lights there earlier in the day. So, I agree with everything you say, Justin. There's not much more else to say about this feud. It's two very similar guys in terms of their lack of creativity on the microphone, their lack of character development. I mean, Lashley's the same guy that he was 10 years ago. Roman Reigns is the same guy that he was when he first started. So I understand why people are upset with that. So on the same way, where does it go in the card? How does the match end? I think Roman does win. If I'm WWE, I throw a curveball and I throw Bobby Lashley picking up a clean victory over Roman Reigns. The crowd would like that. I think people would appreciate the fact that Roman's not winning again on a useless pay-per-view. And what's the point? Because he's still always going to be Roman Reigns. And quite frankly, it's going to benefit Lashley more. If you really want Lashley to be this monster and potentially be somebody that overtakes the realistic fighter/wrestler that Brock Lesnar brought into WWE whenever he departs, Bobby Lashley is the only guy that you have.
I agree with everything you said there. I think that would be a great choice. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that there's a lot of logic in everything you said there, that this would be much better for Bobby Lashley and it'd probably get a better reaction. I guess my final question to you is, what the hell are they actually fighting for? Is it just this whole respect thing of Reigns keeps telling him that he left 10 years ago, which he did, and then Bobby Lashley hates the way that Roman Reigns walks around?
I have no idea what they're fighting for. They're fighting for because both of them, I guess, think that they should be the next challenger to Brock Lesnar, which could be neither. Who knows?
Who knows? But each week here, Wrestling Inc. will bring a chair shot rally. We'll be following along. Again, WrestleRumble.com. Make your predictions. Try to win some money. It makes the show that much more enjoyable to watch, whether you're there live or watching on the WWE Network. Hit up Josh on Twitter. Hit up myself. He's Josh Eisenberg 4. I'm Justin LeBar. Comment on the video. Share, like, tell a friend. We'll be back next week with all the fallout from Extreme Rules, as we will then officially be on the road to the hottest night of the summer, that is SummerSlam. Thanks to Wrestle Rumble. Thanks to Wrestling Inc. Thanks to Josh. I'm Justin. See you next week.